I feel so odd with these on. I feel like I'm like going to like start a mixtape or
You're
something.
going to
You going to
silent
DJ?
disco.
Yeah.
Right, silent disco. I'm going to DJ. Literally.
DJ Bree, she's got a new
Literally.
career.
Ooh, it's starting like sounds like DJ Pauly D.
Not DJ Polly D. Come on. Everything's
Just
pre-recorded for that man.
for sure, for sure, for sure. I just remind that just reminded me of it because last night I was literally watching it. Like that, unfortunately, is this show I go to sleep to. So,
Same.
Just really bringing out
you
the
know,
Jersey in you.
Wait,
oh,
I
exactly,
saw
exactly.
on your story that you were watching Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I don't know
Did
Pretty
you
Little
where I
Liars
just
is
was.
my
start?
shit. Oh, you
You
didn't
just
watch it
started like
I
for the first
before?
time.
Yes, I never watched it because so
Oh,
I was in when I was in school, I was more of the Secret Life of the American Teenager.
I
I was
love
more of
Secret
the
Life.
so
Mhm.
good. And like I was more on the verge of like feel good type of shows or like whatever drama. And like their drama was good, but when I started it, my mom was watching it too. And like something about being a middle schooler and like not wanting to watch what your mom is watching.
Yeah.
So I just never did. And this year, or no, literally 3 weeks ago, I'm on season three. It took 3 weeks only for me to get to season three. There's like 24 episodes. I've been binge watching it, and my boyfriend's like, "Oh, you want to watch this? Take a seat. I'm watching Pretty Little Liars." And he just sits there and he's like, This is horrible," and I'm like, "It's amazing. Get out, go find a show, watch like anime or something or whatever you're gonna watch, and leave me alone." So yeah,
I
it's
I
actually been a
love.
really
Oh
good
my god, I
experience.
can't wait for you to. Because
I know.
every
I
time you
like want
think
to
you're gonna
check back
find
in with
out,
you
you
like when
don't.
you get to the end
Yes.
because like
I think I need to rewatch it. It's been so
me
long.
too.
Like,
It's so good, but one thing is, I love Shay Mitchell till I die,
oh my
okay?
god, a queen.
But her acting in the first few seasons,
It's
I'm like,
so
girl,
bad.
it's
She gets
so
better. She gets better.
bad.
She
But
does
then
get
it's
better.
just like, what
That was her
is
first like
Arya
big break.
doing? Like, what is Arya doing? I get it. It's like cute, you know, it's given a little bit of adrenaline with the whole teacher situation.
Oh
But it's
yeah.
just like, in what world? Like, they should have made it a little bit realistic, like more realistic. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no way you're sneaking to your teacher's house and not getting caught. My mom had my
I know.
location on my phone in high school. I stepped foot out of the house and she was texting me, "Where are you going?"
It's so funny
Yeah.
watching it back now though, because as kids we were like pissed. We're like, no, she should be with him. Like we were
Yes.
Yeah.
angry when we
Yep.
were as kids watching this. We're like 12, 13. We're like, they love each other. Now you watch it back and you're like, this is so wrong and so creepy. Like it's
Yes, like he's
crazy.
grooming her.
We were
Yeah.
talking about it a couple days ago about how like songs, like certain TV shows, like America's Next Top Model could not be on now. Like there could not
Oh my
be a
God.
show of Tyra Banks telling somebody to
No.
lose weight. Like the
Yeah.
things that were on TV,
Yeah.
like it's insane. Just how different it is.
Like,
Like we were talking about like using certain words in songs that like
oh
were
yeah.
okay a couple years ago and now it's like
Mhm.
don't say that word. Like
Everything
just the
is
whole thing is
so
crazy.
questionable now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's
I
insane.
understand, but it's just like we need to grow a little bit of a thicker skin. I mean, and not for
We
nothing,
agree.
too. I was sitting there cheering on Amy Jurgens and having her baby. Yes, she needs to have her baby. Yes, she. Girl, she was literally like a sophomore in high school, which is like, no hate, do what you got to do. But why was I like, I wish I was Amy.
Yeah.
Why the,
Well, right, and
why?
I used to be like, "Oh my God, Ricky," and now like looking back, I'm like, Ricky was a
Yep.
scumbag. Like, what
Yeah,
am
he
I talking
sucked.
about?
The biggest. Like, oh my God.
I know,
I
it
don't
is so
know.
crazy. What about Vampire Diaries? Did you ever watch that? That's
I
another
never
one
got
that's
into
like
that.
such
I tried.
nostalgia.
I
Oh,
really tried to get into it, and then I never did. And then me and my boyfriend started watching it, like maybe when we first started dating. And he actually liked it, which was a little weird. My mom makes fun of him to this day for it.
I support
But
this.
right, and we were just watching it, and then finally I'm just like, this is just getting like ridiculous. Like, I'm not into it anymore. It's just
Damn it.
repeated stuff. Like, I loved it. I did in the beginning, but I just felt like it got so repetitive. And I feel like that's what's happening with a
It's
lot
gonna
of shows
happen with
now.
PLL too.
Yeah. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I heard when it gets to like the dollhouse stuff, it's like
Mhm.
I know.
it's
I was like,
good, but it's also like repeated.
I
Yes.
don't want to sound like a negative Nancy. I was like,
I
I
know,
just
be
can't wait
negative
to
'cause
hear
it's,
what
like,
you're gonna
exciting.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
after like, because like honestly, like I think the last 3 seasons of Pretty Little Liars, like it could have ended like without those. And I think
Yeah.
we've said this on an episode before. Like, I feel like that show was
Yes,
one
we
that
have.
like,
We were
didn't
like, okay,
plan it
that and
out.
Riverdale, you're just like,
Yes,
okay,
like
come
wrap
on.
it up.
Riverdale?
Let's go.
Oh my
I don't
God.
want to talk about
I think
Riverdale.
I stopped after season 2. It got
I
weird.
watched, yep, I watched season 2. My mom is someone who's very committed. Like, if she watches something, no matter how terrible it is, she'll keep going. I don't
do
know
the
why you
same
put
thing.
yourself through that. Right. And I'm just like, and she's explaining to me what's happening. She's like, yeah, they're singing and they're this. I'm like, singing?
Yeah.
Check me out. I'm
Mystical
done. Like,
creatures.
Yeah, no, I
it's
don't
like
do that.
so
if I want to
weird.
watch singing, I'm going to watch Glee. I'm not going to watch Riverdale and a bunch of Hocus Pocus and Dungeon Dragons or whatever. I'm good. I'm
is
That
good.
was like
Dragons now.
Sabrina, like the remake that they made on Netflix. Like, I loved the first few seasons, and then it turned like into a musical, and I was like, I am not into this anymore.
Like, it's okay if you can't sing. Like, we don't have to throw singing into everything. It's just, I'm good. I'm so good.
Stay in your lane.
I'm so good. Right. Join choir. Join show tunes. Join Broadway. Something.
Correct.
I don't know.
Not us
Sabrina.
going off on a tangent. Hey
Leave
everybody,
that all in
how are
there.
we? Welcome to Socially Unfiltered Pod. Today we have a special guest, Bree from
Hello.
Socially Bree.
I'm excited to be here.
I was You go.
Sorry. It keeps coming in so late for me. No, I was just going to say that I was really excited when you guys reached out to me and asked me to be on here. When I went on with Lex, I was like, that was so fun. I want to do it again. And now that I have Veronica here too, I'm so excited.
I know. Well, I was supposed to have you on my podcast, and then I was like, oh my God, actually, me and Lex are combining. So
Plot
like, stay
twist.
tuned for that because we'll have you on. So this is perfect because we were supposed to
Yes.
have an episode. So yeah, Bree is here, and we are so excited. We're going to dive into all things storytelling, how businesses can utilize it, how creators are using it, just like everything about storytelling, because you're literally the queen of storytelling, and we are obsessed with you and your content.
Thank
So,
you.
but first, give everyone a little breakdown, like who you are, what you do, how you got into everything, how you started on social media, and like realized that storytelling was your niche, or like not your niche, but like what you were really going to hone in on and focus on.
What you're really good
What's
at.
your story? What you're really amazing at, like your whole story, how you got here.
Thank you. Yes. So, okay, when I'm put on the spot to storytell, I don't know how good I do that, but no, it's funny because I actually just finished a post that's going to go up tomorrow. I've taken a little bit of another hiatus. However,
Feel you.
how did I get
Happens to
here?
the best of us.
Well, right. I was working at a salon, and when you're working at a salon, you either love it or you hate it. And I feel like I just loved it in the beginning. It was really fun. And then it got to the point where I was doing everything, and where it was fun and it was like, oh, I learned a lot about work ethic and stuff like that, I was exhausted. I was like, how old was I? I was like 17 or 18, working full time. And full time at 18, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was spending my entire paycheck on food because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to pack food. I'm just going to get food from the place next door. And I was just spending everything that I was making. I was miserable, whatever. So my entire life have loved putting together, like videos. Like when my school did like Powder Puff, I put together like a video of like the cheerleaders and the football players, whatever. And I just love doing stuff like that and creating graphics for my mom or whatever. So yes, I started maybe when I was 19. I was looking at, actually no, I was 18. And I was just looking at like what other things that I could do. And I saw social media managers on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, that seems interesting. Like I don't know what it is, but I'll research a little bit about it. So I tried to see if my school had anything to, because I'm in college, but I tried to see if my school had anything to do with like social media or marketing, and they had nothing to do with social media. And still to this day, like other colleges are starting like social media like topics and careers, and my school just said screw that. To transfer, it would have just been too much, and I just hated it. So I decided to switch to business administration and marketing. It was going great. I learned a lot, and then I just decided to start my Instagram. And at first it was doing horrible. I was one of those checklist girls. I was one of those, and nothing against it.
It's
just,
so
it's not
funny
going
to
do
me to hear
anything.
you say something was doing bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny to me
Oh.
because you fucking crush it now. And also, like,
I want to
not
scroll
to
all the way
interrupt
down
you,
on your page.
Yeah, I know, I do too. I'm like, what's down there? It blows my mind your age. Like, not to cut you off and to say
Same.
that. Like, it literally because at your age, like, I was not thinking about being like a business owner or like even taking my job seriously. Like, I'm pretty sure I was still showing up drunk like to my shifts like from the night before. Like, I just did not
That's
care
fair.
about like real life things. So it's always mind
Yeah.
blowing to me like when you talk about how early on you got started with this.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I love that I got into this young, but I do also feel like a lot of people in the beginning didn't take me seriously, and that's another thing
sure.
that is really hard when you're trying to start a business, because I'm 20 now. I'll be 21 in August 27th, so like in a few weeks.
Oh
So
my God.
I know,
Woohoo!
21.
20 days.
Um, but yeah, so I started at like 18, and it was really difficult to have people, take me seriously. And obviously my branding, I had no branding at the time. I was just like a Canva addict, and I didn't even like, I don't know. I just kind of put together my own brand, which is totally fine, but when you have the funds, get your branding done. Not even just because of your font or your colors or whatever, just so you can fully understand your tone of voice, your mission. Because in your mind, you can think that you know your mission, but once someone else kind of hears what your mission is and can put it into deeper words and is a like professional in that area, they're going to bring your vision to life. And I feel like until you kind of realize, like, okay, what do you want to do? Who do you want to work with? Because you're not going to be working with everybody. I can tell you that. Your product is not for everybody. You could sell a candle and it's still not going to be for everybody. Yeah, everybody can get it, but you're not talking to everybody. And that's where I feel like storytelling really comes into play, because when someone's going to book with you or purchase from you, they want to hear about the experience. So I have something going up tomorrow about this. I just actually wrote the content for this, so it's like fresh in my brain. But even with that being said, you want them to envision getting your product, right? So, okay, for example, I have worked with this girl, Pretty Pep Talks.
Here we go.
She
I'm
comes
telling
prepared.
you, I
Buckle
have
up,
worked
bitches.
literally. I cannot tell you. Okay, wait, I'll start in the beginning. So this brand, Pretty Pep Talks, everybody has been asking me where I got my desk calendar. Now, Pretty Pep Talks is a letter stationery brand who creates stationery. They have just kind of like as reminders. You want to send your mom a note, you want to send your grandma a note, whatever. She has stationery for your desk as well. So I worked with her on strategy. I created her strategy for her, and we kind of talked about, she was kind of telling me, I'm having trouble selling, I'm posting all these really pretty pictures, but it's not converting. And I was like, well, when it really comes down to it, a pretty picture is not going to do anything for your audience if they can't envision themselves having it, if they can't envision themselves writing a letter to their loved one, if they can't envision themselves writing a letter to their friend that they haven't seen since high school, it's been years, check in with them, see how you're doing. A letter means so much more than just a text. So we kind of sat there and we figured out how we were going to bring that to her target audience. So I had created a reel for her, just an unboxing of the this specific product, because she didn't send me anything. I ordered it from her because I loved her product so much, and I knew exactly what her mission was, why she wanted to sell this product, and who she was selling to, and it was me. But at the same time, I converted. I was even doing the work for her, and I converted. So I got the product, whatever, and I loved it so much that I wanted to film a reel for her. So I filmed it, edited it, sent it over, and I was like, and I took some actual product photos of it. And I said, listen, if you want to use these on your page, feel free to use the strategy to kind of aid your caption and whatever. After that, she had posted that, and she had told me, like, thank you so much. There were, a bunch of people who wanted the calendar. So I was like, okay, that's really great. Now, without me thinking about it, without me saying anything, thinking about it, I've just been posting my desk all the time, showing my reminders, showing whatever. Everybody, it's in every single picture that I post, and everyone's like, where did you get that from? I need it. I've had 10 people probably actually buy it from just DMing me. All I do is give them her Instagram. I'm like, check it out, see what you want to do, whatever. They'll come back to me like, oh my God, I just ordered it. Can't wait for it to come. So they
like
saw it on
opening
my
their
desk
website
and
right
they were
now.
like, I'm telling you, they have
I
the
already
best
looked. I already looked
stationery.
on it like last week because I saw you tag them and post.
I'm telling you, if they
I
can
saw Brie have this
envision,
calendar, so I bought it.
I'm
She was wearing
telling
army
you
pants
though,
and flip flops.
it's literally Mean Girls is probably the best movie to date. Like recent movies are just the worst, but if we go down movie road, we'll just stay here forever. So,
Right.
but with that being said, if they can envision that product, they love it, they like the look of it, but they see it on someone else's desk, they see it on, someone that they might like their content, they're going to reach out and they're going to want that product. So it's not only just about your content, but it's the people who are buying your content that are going to tag you. Always repost the tags that are going on your page because that shows that people are buying your product. They love it enough to tag you and let people know, like, listen, this brand's great. I love it. Go buy from it. So it's really about just sharing all of those things. It's also about your mission. Like at the end of the day, if I was working with her and I didn't really feel aligned to her mission, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And I would have just moved on and said, great working with you. Have a good life, whatever. So, but I loved it so much. I wanted to film it. I wanted to take product photos. And I did all of that because I knew that there's other people out there just like me who are going to want this specific product. And there were.
Wow.
And now you've basically become a front-facing
Yeah,
billboard
an
for them.
affiliate.
Right. I mean, listen, and I do have to say, like, she has the best, like, customer service and everything. I ordered it. She probably sent it out the same day and I got it the same week. I was just like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Because I'm an
Good for
impatient
her.
girl. I am so impatient. Like if it's gonna take days to get to me, best believe I'm heading over to Amazon and it's gonna be at my door tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Even
this
though
you're
I'm so
supporting like a
sorry.
small business. And
Exactly.
it's funny. My client's
that.
like the similar way, but like she hand welds all this jewelry and she also will ship, like I just bought a ring from her and it will ship out within like 4 or 5 days. And I'm like, that is crazy because you're literally physically making
Hand
something,
making it.
hand making it,
Yeah.
and you're still going to ship it out in like 4 or 5 days. Like that's crazy that you can do that.
Yeah.
But it's like supporting small is huge, but I agree. I'm like the same way. Like give it to me
It
now. That's the
is.
same with social media though. Like give me what you're
Yeah.
about to tell me right now. I don't need this long spiel from you. Like
Yeah.
tell me a quick story, keep me interested, and I'll
Yeah.
buy from you.
I always think about like the Pinterest recipes where it's like a 5-paragraph long like
Jump to recipe.
story.
Mhm.
Yeah, like jump down, please.
Literally.
Immediately jump to recipe.
The internet has ruined me. Like I watch all my TikToks
know.
in like 1.5 speed now. Like I listen to all my podcasts in 1.25. Like I have to listen
I
to
just
things
discovered that you can do that.
faster.
Sometimes I feel like TikTok has ruined the way we could watch television and
100%.
movies.
Yeah.
Our attention spans, oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. Like I can't read a book. Like I can't. It's impossible. I have never finished a book in my life. In my life.
I think we talked about this
You
on my
know,
I
episode
don't know how
too.
I can, but
I am just the worst. Like I've bought so many books on my iPad. I'm like, okay, it's the book. I can't read a physical book. I go to my iPad, I'm scrolling, my eyes hurt. I feel like I'm just making excuses at this point and I just physically can't read a book, but I don't want to admit that.
literally. Well,
Yeah.
even when I'm watching a movie, like I'll be on my phone too, or like I'll have my computer
Same.
open, and I'm like, this is so fucking bad. It's bad enough I'm watching like television before bed, probably, but I'm like, I have
Right.
3 monitors still in front of me, and I'm like being
Literally.
stimulated by 3 different things, and I'm trying to like talk to
Literally.
Mark, and like it's so bad. I've been trying to just like turn off at night because it's not good to be like that stimulated.
Like I have
Yeah.
like
That's
podcasts
why I
going
took a
in the
break.
background all day. Like I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
constantly have something playing. I'm like, this is
That's
probably
fair.
not the best for my brain, but also I feel like I would go insane if I wasn't listening to something at all times.
Yeah, because when it's quiet, it's like, okay, what's
Now
going
what?
on? I'm alone. Like, but then I can't write. I can't type. Like my brain, if I have to write a caption and I have a podcast going,
Oh
it'll
yeah,
take me
no, when
hours.
I'm working, when I'm working I can't. But like everyday
around the house stuff.
activities, like there's something
Yeah.
playing in the background.
Lex and I were just talking about this on episode 10 is like we wish we could work from a coffee shop or like go somewhere and like type
Yeah.
or work, and it's just impossible because we're like we need our
Yes.
monitors, we need like everything, we need to think, especially when you're writing up a caption. Like I can't be surrounded by all these people and all this
No.
noise, and I just like applaud people that can do that.
I would like find
can't.
somebody to talk
Same.
to. Like I would like pay
Yeah.
attention to everybody else's
Listen in on a
conversation around
convo.
me. I'd like talk to the baristas.
That is so
like,
funny.
what's your favorite drink?
That is so hilarious because I was actually at this place near me. It was like Gregory's in Paramus, and I'm saying Paramus like you guys even know where we are.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Never
there.
been
I
there.
love it there.
Right. Right. But I'm sitting there and the place gets packed, like packed. And it's one of the nicest places. So I went there early, like early, the minute they opened. And I got myself a seat. I got myself a booth. I sat down, was doing my work, whatever. Literally, I kid you not, within an hour, the whole place was full. Now, I am someone, like, if there's a lot of people, there's a lot of talking, I'm constantly like, what's going on? What's going on?
Uh-huh. Same.
So this girl approaches my table and I'm ready to go to war. I'm like, what does she want? So she comes up to my table and she's like, hey, I'm going to be studying. I'll be really quiet. Like, do you think I could sit with you? Because there's no tables. Now, really bold of you because I would never do that. But you know what? Sure, sister, sit down. So she sits down.
I was like, how do you say
and-
no?
Yeah, it's
right.
awkward.
How do you say no?
No,
when
bitch.
You're the
Don't.
only,
You're the
right.
biggest asshole.
Right. So I'm just like, you know what? Sit tight. Go ahead. So she sat, whatever, does her little work, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what if this girl is like the craziest person ever? Like, what if she just goes across the table and smacks me? Or like, what if something happens, right? So I'm sitting there this whole time and I look at her and I'm like, so what's your name? I just had to know because like I was just like, it was an hour of just sitting there, silence, like just doing work. And I did not do one piece of work. Like I was just sitting there typing on
In your thoughts?
my laptop. Yes, I was texting my boyfriend on my laptop. I'm like, there's this really weird girl in front of me and I'm really just not sure what's going on. And I'm sure she was not weird. You know, she was a very nice lady. I talked to her. She was going to nursing school, whatever. And she was just like, yeah, I just love this place and it gets packed. And I'm like, you know what? I do have to applaud you. I was like, you have balls to go up to a random stranger
Yeah.
and just say, can I sit with you? I'm having a grand old time. We're having a great conversation, but what, like,
I would
are
never.
you okay? No, I would have been like, okay, accept my fate. I'm leaving.
Literally leaving. I'm going
I
back
would
home.
have
Which,
even
like,
ordered a
back in my
coffee.
mind, I'd probably be happy that I can just go.
I know, right? I'd be like,
Right.
yes, there's no.
Yes, there's no spots.
But then again, what if she didn't have a home? It's fair.
True.
It's
Okay.
fair. Well, she wouldn't be
We're
gone.
assholes.
All right.
Right.
Fine.
No, I'm just saying, I was just like, I had to come up with every excuse in my head to be like, this is okay.
Like if I was her, I'd be scared that I picked the crazy one. Like I picked the crazy
That's
person
fair.
to ask that too. Like
She
that's
for
kind of a
sure
compliment to
did.
you that she thought you looked like the most like approachable person.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And I was like the middle table. I wasn't even like the end table or like the front table to the coffee bar. Like I was the middle table.
You were the
You know
chosen
what?
one. That's kind of a compliment.
Godspeed to her. That's fair. You know what? I might get some good karma from that.
I feel like that's like the business owner equivalent of like meeting a girl in the bar bathroom like drunk.
Literally.
Like are you wondering now like
True.
what she's up to or
I'm
like
gonna have
where
to
she
credit
is?
you on that.
Like-
See you in our next post.
You know what the business equivalent of not having time is? The fact that I'm a month in on my nail appointment. I had a nail appointment for today and I just had so much work that I had to look at my schedule. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reschedule for tomorrow. My to-do list said, girl, you're not rescheduling until Friday. In my
Yes,
closet
I'm so
and never
curious
come.
about like your job working with other people because like we know how amazing you are, like your own content and what you do, but like for your clients, like how do you
Yeah.
do you use storytelling for everyone? Like what kind of businesses do you work with?
Yeah.
Like, I need the scoop.
Yes.
need
Okay.
everything.
So I work with 2 candle companies. You
Ooh.
probably see me post them all the time. The Chandler Maker.
Mm-hmm. I have seen that. Yeah.
Sorry, my boyfriend's computer just glitched. I work with Thomas Blonde too, which you probably see. This is like the reed diffuser that everybody thinks is a cup with water in
Oh,
it,
that's
but
so
Yeah.
cute.
if I
Aesthetic.
drank this, I'd probably die.
Yes. Don't
However,
do that.
right. And then I work with a beauty bar owner, Annette's Beauty Bar. I just did her photo shoot. Annette, Chandler Maker, Thomas Blonde. Oh, Glow Therapy is one of my newest clients. I actually took her on last month. We've been working together for a month now. She's more skincare, and at first, I wasn't too confident in the skincare area. I was like, I don't know. Like with candles, I found my groove immediately. With the beauty bar, I found my groove immediately because I worked with similar things like that before, like at other jobs. But when it came to skincare, I was a little bit like, I don't know. So I had worked with another girl before Glow Therapy, and we, she taught me so much. That's one thing I love working with clients is that you might not know everything going into it with them, but they teach you so much about things that you would never even really think you would know about. Like, there's no reason that I should know about the cleaning of your lashes. I had no clue that when you had lashes on, you had to clean them.
Yeah.
I only got my lashes done once and I looked like a clown. Whoever looks good with lashes, I'm jealous of you because, first of all, I don't have much, but when I put them on, oh, I look horrendous. I look ridiculous. And I just, no. So, but I didn't know you had to clean them. And when I started working with Annette like a year ago, that's one thing about me. I don't let go of clients. Like if we are doing well, like we just stay. Like I've been working with Thomas Blonde for 2 years. I've been with Thomas Blonde since I first started my business ever. And they trusted me in the beginning when I really didn't have much, experience. And I grew with them, which is one of my favorite things about them. Like I just love them. Well, I love her. But yeah, I work with her. I work with the Chandler Maker who has also taught me so much about candle care. I didn't know that you had to like trim the candles. I was just burning black smoke in my house and inhaling it. Had no clue. And then Glow Therapy has taught me that. What have they taught me? Well, ditch your makeup wipes. Let me tell you that because the chemicals that are in makeup wipes are so bad for your skin. Also, double cleansing is not just washing your face twice. I thought it was. It is washing it with an oil-based cleanser and then going in with a regular foaming cleanser. I had no clue.
That's what I do. Slay.
I know, right?
Well,
I'm
you're doing
listening.
it right.
Like, that's what I do. Wait, I'm also dying when you said okay, so I worked with a lash artist for years, like up until earlier this year. And this is not to discredit anybody who actually does lash extensions. I know it's a very like skilled talent and everything, but I swear to God, I could be a lash artist. Like I swear because of everything that I learned from her, like the different techniques, the placement, how to clean them, like because she was also teaching other people how to literally like the different volumes and the different like thicknesses. Like I swear I could be a lash artist. That is so funny. So literally I feel the exact same way. Like you just learn the weirdest ins and outs of other industries that you would just never think twice about. Like obviously I didn't learn all this because I worked with somebody in skincare. I just did a lot of my own research, but like stuff like that, like a couple years ago I was just like throwing any cleanser on my face and like calling it a day. Now obviously knowing a lot more, but I also love that you said to not use makeup wipes because I don't smear like any cloth across my face. Like it gives me anxiety that I'm like pushing stuff into my face. Like makeup wipes as a whole, nothing wrong with them if you use them. I just feel weird. Like my skin doesn't feel right. After I use them.
But kind of something to you if you're using them just because the stuff in them are not very good. You might be setting yourself up for failure in the long run. But do you?
Absolutely do you?
Wait, okay, you have two candle companies that you work for? And are they like competitors at all or are they different?
No.
Like completely different?
So they're not competitors. The only thing that could possibly make them a competitor is that they're non-toxic. The only reason that they're not is because Thomas Blonde is so like has so many products. They have bath and body products, they have home care products, they have diffusers, they have accessories. So the chandler maker really only focuses on candles, and she has a tote bag, but other than that, all she sells is candles. And she's not really too big on wholesale. She's very much on like the kind of mom and pop shop of like the wholeness, and just like pick up, you pick your delivery up at her door, or you get your stuff delivered, but like they're not really competitors. I mean, actually, I just had someone say to me, well, my assistant had said to me, she was like, I just love how they both coexist and know you guys has like they have you as clients and they're not even mad about it. And the only reason that I feel like it works in this situation is because they are so different. Their missions are different, their designs are different, their branding is different. And as a social media manager, kind of doing those two things of like, okay, this candle company's branding and this candle company's branding, and then coming up with their tone of voice, I thought it was going to be really, really hard. But when you're working with these people and having meetings with these people, you just understand them so well.
Yeah.
And after you speak to them for so long, you just get to understand them and who they're speaking to, how they're speaking to them, that it's like you're not going to confuse one of the other unless you're using friggin' chat GPT. It's the only way you're going to, like, I mean,
We love
it's not
ChatGPT.
hard. And
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Wait, can you
I
tell?
was like,
Okay,
okay,
so
do I say
no.
yes or no?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What does it mean to story tell when you're posting something about a candle?
For example, what I'll do is I will look at the scent notes and I'll say, okay. And I also have my assistant help me with this. So it's not just fully me. Got to give credit to her. But she will pretty much, I'll create all the content. I'll put it into Milano, and then I'll put, okay, for 1962 is one of the candles. And it's more like a kind of Cape Cod feel, for example. It's more of like a coconut.
On brand.
Do I need it?
Nice,
are you about to
yes.
sell it to me right now?
I know,
I might
right?
have to. I
She's
might
about
hold
to
on.
sell it.
Like she even has one.
I
She's
am.
like, I can ship it to you right now.
You tell me I need it and I will purchase. I'm an easy target.
I'm telling you, it has coconut water, lavender, and
Say less.
tonka. I can't say it.
Non-toxic. It's up my
Say
alley.
Non-toxic.
less.
I'm telling you,
It's
I
in
got
my
rid of all my
cart right
candles
now.
because they're toxic as fuck.
I'm
like,
telling you,
where?
Bath and Body Works, get out. Bath and
Oh
Body Works,
yeah,
leave me alone.
no. I had like a meltdown
They're
a couple.
so
No,
bad.
I know it was before
Sounds good.
Christmas last year because I didn't have any candles during Christmas, and I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But like, I literally
Yeah.
got rid of every candle in my house last year and replaced them with
Same.
essential oil diffusers. And like,
Yes.
I know that there's some that are still not the best, but like, have you ever
Yeah.
read the stuff about like what it does to dogs and like the little like microplastics that are like in the air that you're breathing in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it
And your
gives
hormones.
me
It like
yes,
fucks up all your hormones.
hormones. With like a Walmart brand
Yes.
candle, like obviously, like the
Yeah.
nothing
It
against
also
Walmart,
stains
but,
my
like,
ceiling.
Same.
right?
Oh, don't
The
even tell
black
me about that.
marks on my
I was
ceiling.
I had a bed frame that had like a flat, it was like wood, and it had flat top. I was
Oh,
in high
God.
school. Now, what possessed me to put a candle lit on top of my bed? Don't even know. But you know what's even worse? Yeah. The fact that I left with the candle on, and then I
Right.
come back, and I'm like, you know what? It smells really fragrant in here. What's going on? So I go up to my room and I didn't go up anywhere. I didn't even have stairs. I lived on like a floor, but it's fine. I go into my room and I take a sniff, and I'm like, oh, it smells good. Oh, it smells like it's burning. I look at my wall. My wall is black, like black. It had black soot going from the bed to the ceiling. Well, needless to say, my mom got a new house and we moved out. And because of that reason, I did not get our security deposit back. I'm sorry, Mom. But,
Sorry, Mom.
She learned her lesson. She uses non-toxic candles now.
So we don't put them next to
exactly.
walls.
It's all
And
good.
it's in my house now. So even if I do burn it,
True.
we're cool. But
Okay,
back to
back to the storytelling. Sorry,
yeah,
we
I just
spiraled.
wanted to, I didn't want to seem like I was
What
like
is new,
dodging
everyone?
the question.
What is new?
Um,
Us going off topic? Never.
Right. Literally my life though. I just didn't want to go off topic and like seem like I was like going away from the question. But
This
no,
whole
so when
podcast
it
is
comes
going off topic all the time.
Yeah, and away from the
that's
question.
fair. Um But yeah, no, when it comes down to writing the storytelling, so what I'll do is I'll give her notes and I'll say, I really want to envision, walking into a vacation or taking a vacation. You smell your signature scent once you get into that hotel lobby, and smelling, I don't know, you don't really smell much, that's good, but like there's something about walking into a hotel on vacation that you're just like, it smells like people, but it's also like I'm on vacation. It smells like vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll just write her a few notes and then she kind of brings the vision to life. So, when it comes to, because like you said, though, when it comes to me, it's easy to write my storytelling. But when it comes to my clients, I definitely needed someone else to help me a little bit just because my strong suit is not in writing. If you would believe it, it's not in writing when it comes to my clients. I'm really good at
Yeah.
creating the content. I'm really good at coming up with the strategy, but I will be fully transparent when it comes to captions. I just kind of draw a blank. She wrote this and she said, so the candle is called Magic Hour. So it's just like a beautiful little candle.
Cool.
And she had said, what does your magic hour look like? Is it sitting and looking at a sunset, or maybe sitting by the fireplace in the morning with your coffee? Either way, everyone needs a sidekick. Magic hour is the perfect quiet time bestie with notes of pomegranate, ember, and musk. It is the perfect scent to accompany you on your self care routine. So just kind of
Ooh.
making them envision
Yeah.
where they could use it. And she's amazing. Like, I would give her app, but she's not taking any clients. So I don't want to.
You're
And she
gatekeeping
just had a
her.
baby. So I am gatekeeping. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gatekeeping.
But see,
Um,
like, I love that first of all, I love that. But it's always so funny to me because I'm so excited for somebody to hear that and possibly like help them register that storytelling isn't always like, I woke up today and decided I was going to have a self-care day. So I reached for
yeah.
my favorite magic hour candle and then I lit it. Like, it's not
Right.
Yeah.
like narrating what you're doing. It's
Yeah.
helping
Mm-hmm.
somebody to picture it in their lives, however that
Feel it too.
might,
Yeah.
yes, like however that looks or feels or however you
Yeah.
imagine it. And I want you to keep going on that, but I also want you to talk about the difference between doing it for your own content, because
Yeah.
the way that you have explained that to me and everybody in the past, like, quite literally made a switch flip in my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
So I'm like
Same.
so excited for people
Absolutely.
to hear this.
Same.
So when it comes to okay, so you've heard me by this point talk. I mean, I tell stories like I'm going on tangents, I'm saying this, I'm saying whatever. My content really does reflect the way I speak. So
Mm-hmm.
I had sat there and thought, okay, what would I do if I'm having a conversation with somebody? Because conversations are so important. Conversations can make you see things so differently than you saw them before, whether it's about the news or whether it's about how you make your coffee, or maybe it's about, I don't know, the way you put your socks on. Regardless of that, it could really make you see things in a different light. So I use Notion. You could use notes. You could use a piece of paper. I don't really care what you use. But when it comes to writing down what you're going to do, it's hard. You're just staring at the screen. You're like, what the hell am I going to say? What am I
Mm-hmm.
going to say? So I decided, okay, I'm just going to look at the wall. I'm going to have a conversation. I'm just going to talk as if I was talking to a friend. I like to make it seem like you're reading along, like I just texted you. Like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, I'm so annoyed, or, just explaining something like in detail. So what I'll do is literally this wall that I'm looking at right here, I'll just talk to it, and it seems a little crazy. I don't care. My boyfriend's like, are
It's
you good? And
really
I'm just
not
like,
though.
it's not. But
No.
to someone who doesn't do what we do, like my
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
boyfriend, he sells trucks, and he is just like, who are you talking to? What's going on? But no, it helps
Good
so much
friend.
because, right, my friend. It really does help because I will sit here and I'll say, okay, I want to talk about this topic. But when it comes down to like the nitty and gritty of things and you're writing down, it sounds robotic. It's like, oh, well, in order to do this, you should do this instead. And blah, blah. Sometimes using bigger words makes people less aligned to what you're talking about. They don't want to hear about the encyclopedia, or they don't want to hear about your nothing's coming to my brain right now. But when it comes to what you're writing, they just want to feel seen. They want to be spoken to. They want to feel normal, like you're having a normal conversation with them. When you're using big words and when you're over explaining things, people are reading it and they're like, oh, well, I could never do that. It's unobtainable for me.
Mm-hmm.
When you make them feel really aligned to what you're talking about, like, for example, in my post, I had said, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Burnt out college kids, summer semester, trying to reinvent the wheel with my quick tips. Pumping out daily content and crappy graphics, I was attracting the wrong audience. Now, I've had so many people in my comments who are like, this is me right now. And like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry I said crappy graphics. I was talking about me. If you felt aligned to that, so sorry. But,
The shoe
I
fits.
had, right. And it's okay because we all start somewhere. That's the thing. Like, people, I
Mm-hmm.
never was good at storytelling. When I first was doing content, oh my gosh, I was like, 3 tips to get more engagement.
Yeah.
I would
We all did it.
literally cancel myself. Yeah, right. We all did it. And the
Yeah.
thing is when I used to boost my posts. I did. I did that. And what did it get me? Wow, let me see. A whole lot of nothing. Okay? It got me a whole lot of nothing. The only thing it did was boost my insights. Yippee. And it went to my head. The boosted insights definitely went to my head. I was like, I got this down packed. And then I realized, where are my clients? I'm broke. I'm broke with a few more followers. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, okay, something's got to give. So I decided to just say, screw this. It's not working. And I really sat there and I was like, hey, who the heck am I talking to? Who do I want to work with? Who, like, what is going to kind of get me, like, I guess, writing? So I decided to, and I know templates are not the best thing to do. However, I went to Tonic and I just purchased one of their templates and I kind of put my branding into it. And at first I was using photos. I personally feel like unless they're your brand photos, it's not going to feel as
Yeah.
connected. So I just decided to kind of go from scratch and do like a blank background just because I hated the person who did my photos were amazing. I'm just super awkward and I just didn't like them. My fault, not yours, if you're listening to this. But they look okay on my website, but when it comes to my, like, I can't see myself. So I just decided to go blank, and I feel like it's fine because, like, for someone else, I get it. For someone else, it wouldn't work for them just because they might feel like they need to see them, whatever. For some reason, my audience could give a rat's ass about what I look like, and I'm fine with that. I'm cool. We're cool. Great. I feel like because of my tone of voice, they can get to know me without having to see what I look like or having
Yes.
to, that's why storytelling could be really, really beneficial for you because if you're not someone who wants to show themselves, you don't have to. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of the people who are like, you have to show yourself, you have to post every day, and you have to blah, blah, blah. You don't. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
I actually took a week off. Then I pulled up with one post. And then I took another week off.
Pulled
And then I
up.
pulled up with one post. Yeah, exactly. And my inquiries actually were more than when I was posting every 3 days. Now, I don't say this because oh my god, it's the case for everybody, but when you set your Instagram up to be a user experience for your audience, now that means your highlights, that means your previous posts, that means the links that you're directing them towards. It kind of does the work for you. When you get to a certain point, it is okay to kind of put your hands up and sit back and take time for yourself. For me, I was so burnt out. It got to the point where I was sitting there and trying to write content and I was just so burnt out I couldn't even do it. And you see big accounts and you see whatever and you're like, "Oh, they're like they do it easily," or "Oh, whatever." It's not easy. It's just me. And other people do have agencies where they have more people on their team, but
Mm-hmm.
for us, it's really like we may have an assistant and a copywriter, or we may have, it's mostly us doing the work behind the scenes, and people don't
Mm-hmm.
realize that. And it's a lot of work. And I was working on the weekends, which now I made a rule to never touch work on a weekend. I don't care if the client is telling me their house is on fire. I love you guys, but I can't do it. I was literally killing myself just to make sure that I got a post up the next week.
Yeah.
And for what? For what? Social media likes doesn't mean anything. And I get it. For brands, it's very different. You got to kind of keep up with the consistency. But
Mm-hmm.
even with the consistency, there's a very weird, and you said it best, Veronica. I actually quoted it in one of my posts a little while back, how you said, like, if you're being consistent, right, if you're being consistent, it really doesn't mean anything unless you're posting good content, like, or
Mm-hmm.
not even, I hate the word valuable. I want to like literally annex
I
it.
know.
But but people ruined it for us.
They did.
But it's really just what you're giving your audience. Like, for example, my posts, if you need some information about something, okay, save it for later. Or my highlights are set up so you can see my clients I work with. You could see the services I do. You can book with me on there. Or you can visit my website. Everything is easy for them that they don't really have to ask me a question in my DM. So it makes the user experience for them a lot easier. So I guess I just needed a break. I took a break and my inquiries were still rolling in. I was still getting people who were interested in coaching and strategy and working with me as a client. And it just made me realize I don't have to burn myself out just to put content out there so people could like it. And that's what I got really, really hung up on, was the likes and the followers I was gaining. And while it felt really nice, I was worried about the wrong thing. So that's why I started boosting those posts back then, to kind of get that kind of high of like, oh, I'm doing really well. But in reality, it wasn't converting. It wasn't what I needed. So if you're boosting posts now, I do recommend to cut it out.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time too, of like, yeah, you may have all those consistent posts and maybe you have the engagement and the reach and the likes, but it's like, how many conversations are you having? How many DMs? How many inquiries are you getting?
Right.
That's what really matters, not how many likes or even saves. It's like, how many conversations are you having where you're connecting with your audience and like your people are still inquiring with you? I would rather see you post once a week and like have your mental sanity and be happy and know that like your heart's in it. Like Lex just said this. She's like, I'd rather you being consistent and maybe not even post than like post something that your heart's not in, you know? It really shows.
Yeah. It's honestly, for me, when I went on vacation, I took an entire week off. And it was so nice to not have to check. Okay, I still kind of worked on vacation. I just did outbound engagement and posting for my clients. But once that was done, I was done. I wasn't checking my Instagram. I wasn't worried about inquiries that were rolling in, because at that time I was on vacation. I was out of office, and people who want to work with you will understand that you need your boundaries. You have your time off. And, if you are working with someone who is constantly hounding you, like, get this done, add this on, do this, da, da, da. That is the reason that you are going to quit this industry. You have to learn how to say no. I am a people pleaser to the core. And it took a lot for me to stop saying yes to everything. I even do it sometimes now. And then I kick myself in the ass later and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I freaking took on a strategy, a new client, everything under the sun. And I'm like freaking out. And it's just like, this is the exact reason you stopped doing this, and this before. Did you not learn your lesson? So, you just really have to take that time off for yourself, because you're going to come back 10 times more motivated to get a post out there to help your client. And I saw this thing on Threads and I reposted it. I'm not sure who posted it, so I'm not sure, but like, you did amazing. She had said something along the lines of, if you're not taking a break, you're doing your clients a disjustice, because if you are burnt out, you're not going to be making your best content for your clients. You're not.
Wait, Bree, this is so funny because obviously you don't know this. So we recorded an extra episode last week because Veronica's going to be out of town, and the entire episode is about working on vacation and like if business owners actually take vacation, or like how so I know that this is not the topic of what we're talking about, but like, will you talk about that a little bit? Like, what I know you said, like, did you just do like your posts and then you were done for the day? And like, do you feel like that took away from your vacation experience, or like, do you feel like that's just kind of like a small price to pay to be able to take this vacation? Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Because we both are like, it's not the end of the world to do like a couple posts like first thing in the morning, but also like, what's it like to take an unplugged vacation, because we don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I rather, in my personal opinion, I rather do a little bit of work on vacation, just so that way when I'm coming back to work, I'm not wondering what were the conversions, what were the likes, what were the follows, what were this, because that's double the work that you have to do when you get home. It's so easy just to do your outbound engagement. I went to the coffee shop in the morning, grabbed myself a coffee, came back to the beach house, sat at the beach house for a little bit. I sat there, I did outbound engagement, whatever. And then for the rest of the day, I unplugged. And for me, this was during my burnout time, like the week before is when I realized, like, girl, you're like literally going to put yourself into the hospital with a heart attack. So for
I'm
me,
not
I
like
double
laughing at that.
prepped
I'm
the
just
week.
relating to that.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
It's the
I'm like, oh my
truth.
God,
Like,
same.
there's like no reason I should be getting like heart palpitations at 20, but it's like
No.
totally
Mhm.
fine. Um, but yeah, no, we so what I did was I double content planned the week before, and it wasn't too much work just because I do all the photos and I do all the stuff. So it's like I already in my head really knew what we were going to be working with. So I just double content prepped. I put everything. Okay, so what I do that makes things a lot easier for me during regular weeks and vacation weeks is I have a iCloud for my business and an iCloud for my personal. So what I did was I made a shared album between my business and my personal, and I took all of the photos that are in Canva or graphics or reels that we were going to do, and I put them in order Monday through Friday, post and story. So that way I didn't have to go into Canva and save it every time. It was already in my shared
Mm.
folders, so I downloaded them the day of on my shared folder, so it took like 2 seconds. And then I put it up just so that way I didn't have to worry about internet. That way I didn't have to worry about, oh my God, it's not saving or Canva being down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I just set up those systems in time. I used a table for all my captions. So all I had to do was go in, copy and paste them, get the
Mm-hmm.
post up. I'm a manual poster. I'm not a scheduler. Nothing against scheduling. I just personally don't like it. And it's obtainable for
You're
me to do it
speaking
if
our
you have a lot of
language.
clients. Yeah,
Everything
I
you're
don't love
saying is
it.
what we do. It's so
I know.
funny. I'm like,
It's
yep, yep,
we're
yep.
aligned.
I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah. So I went on vacation, I did the outbound engagement, I didn't even think about it. Then the weekend I didn't have anything to do. It was a full unplugged weekend. But I just feel like it's the best case scenario. First of all, you're getting paid for the entire week you're on vacation. I mean, like, what could be better than that? Then you're you're able to check in with your clients and see if everything's going good, and the business isn't on fire because you're on, or the marketing is not on fire because you're on, and it's just fine. Like, I don't know, I would rather it that way because I'm actually going to the Dominican Republic in October for 2 weeks this time. Last time was only a week. This time 2 weeks. So I'm working 1 week there, but then I'm taking the next week off. So like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
So
But
that's something else that we talk about so technically this episode that we're talking about would have come out before
It's
this
already
one,
out. Yeah.
right? So
mhm.
the
Yeah.
last episode. So something else that we
Mm-hmm.
talked about in that episode is like, do you agree with, or how do you feel when people are like, one of their main selling points, like let's say they're trying to get people into their social media management course, like I want to teach other people how
Yeah.
to do this. My main selling point is you can work from anywhere. You can work from the beach. Like your job is remote. We personally don't really, like Veronica and I don't necessarily agree with that because
Mm.
like working from the beach, like that's miserable. Like, are you kidding? I would
Mm-hmm.
If
never.
I
So
was
like,
working from
how
the
do you feel
beach,
about that?
forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget it. You better
I would
put me in the
not.
ocean and hope I drown.
You're
Okay.
giving me, I'm just like asking you these so I can be reassured that Veronica and I aren't crazy in that episode.
Yeah.
That we don't
Work
sound
from
crazy.
anywhere. Work from anywhere. If I don't have my planner, my desktop, my calendar, my
How do you know the
coaster,
Wi-Fi is gonna work? Like,
my
there's
ch-
so many
thank you.
stressors.
Yes.
Another thing I don't like.
My
Now,
OCD could never.
I don't know. This might. I'm
We're
gonna
all
Oh,
say it.
about
ruffle
the
some
spicy
feathers?
takes. Yeah,
This
let's
is
go.
the socially unfiltered.
Ruffle the feathers, Brie.
Exactly.
Come on. Give us something
So
juicy.
when it comes to course selling, I don't like when people pinpoint money, the money they've made and what you could make. Now, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Agree. We
Because
literally
I
just
know
said
a
this. We're
lot of,
like, this is the weirdest selling point because Lex said this. She's like, when I'm looking for a dentist, I'm not looking who made 100K, who
right.
made 5 grand in the first 2 weeks. I'm literally looking for a dentist. Like, put it in
Yeah.
any other industry and it's fucking weird. Like, I
Not
don't
for
care what
nothing.
you made from the course. How are you
Yeah.
helping someone?
Right.
Like,
That's my thing. Okay, for example, analytics are great, right? But at the end of the day, the thing is that we really want to focus on, okay, so for example, I'm not going to focus on how many people I've reached or how many engagements or whatever. What I'm going to focus on is how many link taps, how many people went from my Instagram and went to my website, or went from my Instagram to my client's website, right? Now, from there, I'm on email, right? I'm not worried about how many people opened it. I'm worried about how many clicks there are. Yeah, you could have a 50% open rate, which is a lot, but if you have that open rate, what are your clicks? I can guarantee you they might be like 0.1. Even if it is, that's not a problem. I'm just saying, like, stop focusing on only the green numbers that are going to make you look good but have no meaning.
Yes. Exactly.
Like,
We said this
that's
too.
why I
Like,
don't
literally
care.
no number on Instagram matters to us. We're like, how many people are we having a conversation with? How many clients are we booking? Like, and again, this also comes down to sales as a social media manager, right? So I
Yeah.
want to ask you that too, is like, you do email as well. Do you
Yes.
also like promise your clients sales, or like how does that work with sales? Like, do they ever come to you and they're like, sales are down, or like the conversions, or like the click-throughs, like you said? How do you approach that with a client? Because obviously you're amazing at storytelling, and like your storytelling does sell. So how does that correlate like with your clients too?
Yeah, so when it really comes down to like conversions and stuff like that, when they come to me and we're talking about email, I tell them, okay, I come up with a strategy and I say, okay, what do you want to focus on? What are the goals that you have for this specific email campaign before it even comes out? So let's say, for example, I just did one today for a home care. Now, we're really focusing on making your home your sanctuary, right? So we really want to touch on, when you walk in, what is your signature scent? How to find your signature scent? Get our scent sample pack at $6. You know, kind of easing them into finding your signature scent. Oh, I have a signature scent. Someone's going to come in my house and be like, oh, I have a signature scent. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like blah, blah, blah's house, right? So, you know, when it comes to that, we're really kind of focusing on a specific product, right? So for them, I try to tell them, listen, I can't guarantee you anything. What we can do is we can focus on our strategy. We can focus on your goals. And what we're going to do is we're going to produce content and we're going to produce email campaigns that have to do with those specific goals. Now, we're focusing on your target audience. So we have to really speak to them. How are we going to really speak to them? Well, we know our target audience. We're going to try to sell them through storytelling. Storytelling is the biggest thing that you could do in emails too. Like, no one wants to hear the features of your product in an email. They're signed up for your email campaign. They want something good. They want something juicy. They want your discounts. They want whatever. But they're not going to read through every email campaign. You got to keep it short and simple. No one wants a long email campaign. Put a short few sentences and link all the products. Your links have to be 100% working, or you're done. You're done. And what I tell them is we can focus on getting correct links. We could focus on the storytelling. We could focus on specific topics for things. So that way it's specified between different newsletters. And what we do is we have segments. So different people who, maybe people like the Bath and Body Works products, or Bath and Body Works, they like the Bath and Body products, but don't love the home care. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them in the Bath and Body segment. So it's really about segmenting these people and seeing where they're thriving best and where they're maybe not thriving, instead of sending all these mass emails out and most of them are not getting clicked. So it's really just coming up with the best strategy for you. And they all know that, like, listen, we have to strategize and see where it takes us. And if it doesn't work, we'll edit it and try to figure out what's going to work better. But I never make promises, because at the end of the day, we're not sales reps. Like, we can't sit there and say, you know, I guarantee that 5 people are going to buy. At least one person's going to buy. Like, I can't tell you that, because there might be no one who buys. And that's okay, because not every single email campaign, not every single SMS campaign, not every single post, you know, is going to be a hit. Now, you can, you know, and you can't promise conversions, because you do not know what's going on in the economy. You don't know what's going on with, you know, mainly actually the economy, because it's freaking horrible now. And I feel like TikTok has made us so drawn to consuming and buying and getting debt, and like, oh, you can't buy that purse, don't worry, put it on a credit card. And it's like, you know, these influencers and stuff are getting this stuff for free, but they're warranting us to buy it because it's so worth it. But what do you mean it's worth it to you? You know, I kind of have a little bit of beef with influencer marketing, because like, as much as it is great, like, as much as it is great, UGC is better, in my opinion. I think UGC is better. It's like more personable. Like, I don't want to buy from someone who has thousands and thousands of followers. You probably literally got that item for free,
Yeah.
and you're just paid with a script to talk about it. Listen, I am literally, I have sent influencers scripts of what to say about certain products and certain things. Like, I know how it works, and it's just not a good influencers are giving like mean girl energy now,
Yeah.
and it's just
Agreed.
it's really cringe, especially in the social media space, like the social media manager space.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that's what, like, I'm trying to think of which one I want to tell you first. So, like, earlier this year, in one of my old podcast episodes, I said, I think that the word influencer is going to die soon. Like, I think that eventually it's going to be not like cringe to be an influencer in the way where people are like, oh my God, they're an influencer. But I think eventually, like, more people are going to catch on that these influencers are paid to say these things and they don't
Yeah.
necessarily agree with what they're promoting. And I have such a problem with people in our industry doing like partnerships like that or brand deals or affiliate marketing or something, and they're promoting a platform that they like don't even use, or like have, like, I've gotten asked to promote like some team presentation software, and I'm like, but I don't have a team that I'm presenting to. Like, that's just weird. Like, I couldn't. They're like, oh, don't worry, like, we'll provide you with the script, like, we'll send you exactly what we want the video to be. And I'm like, I don't feel right doing that.
No, let me tell you something. I got asked, okay, on my Socially Brie page, I got asked to promote underwear. Underwear. Okay.
Yep.
I've
Do
gotten
I
like
look
bathing
like I
suit
would
ones, and I'm like,
be?
what?
I get bathing suit ones too.
I got underwear
Come
ones.
work with me
and
on the beach.
from like a really like known, I'm not gonna say it, but like I'll tell you guys after, like a known like underwear company. And I'm like, huh? And then another time, first of all, I have so many that ask me to use their like database or their scheduling tool or this and that and blah 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 blah. I don't use them, so why would I tell my audience to use them? I
Right.
don't use
Yeah.
anything, you know what I mean?
For the
And like,
dollar
I don't
commission
know.
that you would get, like, it's
Yeah,
not worth
like
that.
no,
Like,
thank
it's
you.
not worth
And
that.
then same thing what you were saying about the blooms, like something about me is I love me a good video of someone eating. Like, I don't know why, I will watch people eat until I die. Like at night, it's like my comfort thing. Like
The
what did you
carrot
have
and
for
mustard
breakfast?
lady, I literally am obsessed with watching her. I don't know why.
I don't know. You know, I'm not a vegetable girly. One thing you should know about me, I don't eat vegetables. I drink my greens from Ancient Nutrition, from
Not
Whole
bloom.
Foods.
Not
Not
bloom.
bloom. Never bloom. Never bloom. But and then I have like a spinach shake for breakfast because I can't eat vegetables. Like something about the texture, I'm such a child, but I literally cannot eat it. I can't. It just gives
Maybe
me
when
like
you
the
turn
moon.
21, life will change.
Maybe when I become an adult, I'll like
Yeah.
it.
Maybe when you can drink.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Just
just
get
take a
drunk
shot
enough to
before I eat
eat
a
the
piece of
vegetables.
broccoli.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then my
Chase your
alcoholism
broccoli with a tequila
alcoholism
shot.
starts. Right. Ugh, disgusting.
Okay,
So
I do have
funny.
like another question, like
Yes.
about your storytelling. So
Yes.
I know you said like you have your topics, right? And you talk to the
Yes.
wall and you're like, okay, this is what I would talk about. How do you come up with your topics? Because that's like, I feel like the root of
The main,
everything.
yeah.
Yes. So like, how
Okay.
are you like, what do you do for inspiration? How do you draw like inspiration from anything on your topics?
So a lot of times it comes from something that like annoys me. If I see something and I'm like, oh, it's freaking wrong, I get to like, I'm like one of those like Twitter fingers type of people. So I'm like, bam, 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 like a keyboard Karen. And after that, like it mostly comes from like when I'm like annoyed about something, or if it's not about being annoyed about something, it's like, okay, you know, I saw this really good post, you know, but I feel differently about it. You know, a lot of social media is having opinions, you know, and
Yeah.
actually my post coming out tomorrow, like I said something a little ruffling. And at the end of it, I go, this is my opinion. My opinion. Just had to put that there. Okay. It's over.
With
Moving
audio,
on.
that's my opinion.
Yeah, literally. And a lot of times too, what it'll come from is like, if I'm out, like real actual experiences, like if the other day, actually not the other day, like months ago, I was at a diner, and they were, you know how like those people will like sell you things? Like you'll like have a business meeting at like a restaurant, and like you'll sit there with this person who's trying to like sell you like a gym membership or like something stupid. So I saw these two people. It was a man and a wife, and then they were with someone else. I don't know who it was. They were sitting there, and this man and wife are like hounding this man. I can't even enjoy my dinner because I'm just looking over like, what's going on? And they're like hounding this man, like, oh, you'll get this, you'll get that. And the guy's like, oh, okay, like asking questions, but he looks so nervous. And I'm like, grow a pair of balls. Tell that bitch to
Yeah, I'm
get
having a
going.
dinner with
Get
my
it out
wife.
of the door. Right. So I'm sitting here and I'm just like looking, and I'm like, like they can't be for real right now. And then all of a sudden you see, so it's like a guy sitting at the end of the table. It's like a booth. And then the man and the wife are here. And all of a sudden you just, oh, my snaggle nail. Anyways, you just see them like, come along and just sit next to him in the booth instead of being on their side. So now I'm just like, are they going to physically fight this? They were very brawlic, like man and wife. They definitely get in the gym every day. Good for them. They have this man was like really, really skinny and just could probably not fend for himself. And he's sitting there, and like I can only imagine the pressure that he feels. And I'm just like, are you okay? Like in my head, I'm just like making, so I write down in my notes, and I'm like, okay, how not to do a business deal. And I'm just thinking, and I feel like I wrote one newsletter about it because it's just like, I felt really aligned to his issue. I don't really know what happened. It's just real life experiences. Like one thing about the stupid aloe post, and that, okay, it's not stupid, sorry. But like one thing
No,
about the
that was
aloe
amazing.
post.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that post.
Thank you. And then like just everything, like everything comes from real life experiences. Like let's say, and that's how you can really tie storytelling into your business. Like for example, if you had a mass thing of orders and then one day, you know, you had no orders, talk about how that made you feel, or bring the real light onto your business, because people aren't buying from the perfect brands. They're buying from brands that are human. The ones that they see are struggling too. Like, listen, the economy's not getting better, and I'm still going to buy the things I want to buy. So
Yeah.
convince me why I should buy it. I'm not smart. No, I never claim to be smart. So sell me on what you're going to sell me on.
Miss
and get me
Honor
into
Roll.
debt. Right. Oh, well. High school, I'm sorry. Like, not for nothing, my high school was extremely easy. Like, if
So was
anyone's listening
mine.
to this
Like
from
I said, mine was
Yeah.
so hard. Screw you
That's
Mine
guys.
was
we had a whole
extremely
episode about
easy.
this. Yeah. Like
I'm a
I feel
dumbass,
like
so maybe that's...
I could do high school again, like no problem. Not like I
could
want
I
do
to, but like
college.
in
graduated with
fact
a
it's probably
3.95.
love that for you,
I had
queen.
like a 2.8.
I was
Goodbye.
Now I'm in
somewhere in
school with
between there.
I'm in,
Hey, I still
oh my
made it,
gosh.
okay?
I think I have a 3.7 in college, but I took 2 semesters off, so I'm so behind. I'm not even graduating on time.
That's
I
okay.
keep
I
forgetting
didn't
you're in
either. It took
college
me an
too.
extra
Oh my
year.
god. No, but I literally love how you just explained that of like topics, your real life things,
Yes, everything
or like
comes
seeing
from
things
real
that annoy
life.
you. Because when I listened to your episode with Lex, like I just started to do more of like the carousel posts lately,
Yeah,
and I feel like,
I love
I
them.
mean, I haven't been very consistent, but like I
That's
feel
fine.
like that really helped me so much because I'm like, okay, what am I annoyed about? What do I see clients doing all the time?
Yes.
Not clients, but like what do I see businesses doing all the time? And then I think about it and I'm like, okay, this is how I would have a conversation about it. And
Yeah.
having a podcast also helps too, I feel like, because
Yeah.
how we talk on the podcast.
Yep.
Now I'm
Like we
like,
should
okay, I can
literally
just
have
pull
somebody
that.
just go through and like transcript our
Make
episodes and turn
graphics.
them into carousels.
Yes.
Yeah. Bree, do you need
Literally.
another client? Like,
I'll get to
I
it.
think
And
I
you know
think
I'll
in
put it in
the
a story.
I exactly. That's why we want you. I think you had said this in the episode that we did too, that you'll also kind of find inspiration from like things that people are asking you. So like if a friend comes to you and
Yes.
is like, "Hey, how should I be like setting my profile up for whatever?" Like if somebody
Yeah.
asks you, how would you explain it to a friend? Which like I feel like when you listen to it, not to don't take this in any type of way, but like when you hear that, it's
No.
like, no shit. Like, yeah, you should be like
Yeah.
explaining things how you would be
Absolutely.
explaining them to a friend. But I think before you and I had that conversation that day, like I was still just so much in the mindset of I'm here to teach something and it needs to be like in a very specific, because I've always had this like I don't even like saying my brand voice because it's truly just me like typing shit on the computer. Like it's not like I'm trying to like be anything specific.
Yeah.
But like up until that point, I think I was still very much like what my interests are and what my content is about need to be separate. And the day that we
Yeah.
had that conversation, I was like, no, because in my real life, if somebody asks me about this, I'm finding like either a pop culture reference to refer them back to, or like when I'm
Yeah.
explaining something like that, like you literally that day opened like this whole like door in my brain of like, no, you dumb bitch, like those things don't need to be separate, like those can all be
Yeah.
together. That's all your brand, that's all your voice. And like
It's you.
That's how
It's
I
what makes you
felt.
you.
yeah, it true,
Yeah.
like you actually
It's
changed my life that day, I swear to God. Like,
And mine, because I listened to it
yeah.
and I was like,
it's
oh my God. I got on my computer typing in Notion. Well, because you told me too, you're like, so many people start in a graphic. So, like
yeah.
Yeah.
in Canva, like you were like, people start in Canva and they're staring at this Canva thing and they're trying to make everything look good and pretty. And you're
Beautiful.
like,
Yeah.
type everything
Mhm.
up in Notion, like have the conversation and then go in and like
Yeah.
figure out which parts are going to go where. And like, that's what I do now because I do Notion for like all my
Yeah.
clients. So like why wasn't I doing that for myself? I don't know. I would sit there and stare at the
Yes.
graphic and be like, what the fuck do I say? And then I
Yes.
got
It's
into
the
I just
Notion
worst.
love a good
and I
rough
just like,
draft. Like I love a good like
yeah.
brain
Same.
dump. I love a Google
Or
Doc.
in your
Like I've
notes,
yes,
anywhere.
like anywhere that you can
Seriously.
just like, because that's something
Brain
too is
dump.
like I love how you say like things that are happening in the moment, because there's so many times where I don't feel the same way about it if I try to come back to it. So just like brain
Yeah.
dump it while you're thinking about it, and like then you can go back and paraphrase. But like
Tweak it.
sometimes
Yeah.
I'll yeah, like sometimes, and this isn't to say like stop your life and sit down and make a piece of content like every idea that you have, but like sometimes when you try to go back and like reignite what you were thinking about, it doesn't come out the same way. So like anywhere that you can
Yes.
just brain dump, something that I've been doing a lot, I'll turn on my voice notes recordings like in my phone and just like hit record, and like I just like
I like
go
that.
off on like a tangent,
That's
and then
smart.
later go back and try to figure out what the fuck I was trying to say because it's all over the place. But like
That's fair.
it at least lets me like brain dump, and it makes me feel like I'm talking to somebody instead of
Yeah.
just like randomly writing it in my notes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I still do that too. But
No.
like
Yeah. Of course.
it makes me feel like I'm sending a voice note like to somebody to explain
Yeah.
something. So I try to like think about it like, okay, somebody's going to be listening to this. How do I make it make sense? But then you just kind of go back and like tweak it. But yeah,
Yeah.
you literally changed my life that day with like, think of it like you're just explaining something to a friend. And I'm like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
can do that. Like, I didn't know I could
Yeah,
do that.
But when it comes to like the copy of everything, like I write my captions before I even put it into a graphic. And where people are like, oh, like I just write my caption like on the fly. I can't do that because my brain, I need to have a plan. My brain does not work like, and listen, if you could write captions on the fly, kudos to you.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just not me. Like
yeah.
my brain is everywhere. And you could probably tell that when it comes to my content because my brain is everywhere. It's like a brain dump of whatever. But I feel like what separates, and another thing back to like storytelling and then being a, like the plain graphics, sorry. Um, for me, I feel like they don't need to see what I look like because on my stories, you're able to kind of get the kind of vibe of what I go for and what I am and what I'm into. And your stories are the number one things to sell. You could create the best content, but stories are amazing because when you hop on your story and you show them a specific thing and you're able to link it, they don't have to go anywhere. They all they have to do is click your link and go. So if you are posting your product on a story, if you're posting a post that you posted, like let's say you're just resharing it, there is no reason that you shouldn't be linking it because that's sales that you didn't even know that you could possibly get. It's all about convenience, and convenience is like convenience will run me to my last dollar. If something's right in front of me, the thing is I'm not going to go back to something. If I want
Yeah.
something, I'm going to get it in that moment. But I'm not going to go back to. I'm not going to save it for later. I'm not financially literate. I'm not going to sit and think on it. Like I'm just going to get it. And that's how a lot of people think though. So it's like if you're not utilizing that, okay, if no one buys from it, no one buys from it. But at least you tried. At least you put it up there and tested it out. That's why testing things out is so like you're not going to know everything in the beginning. When I work with a client, we call it like a trial period because it's like the trial stages. We really have to figure out what's going to work for you. We can strategize all we want until we're blue in the face, but strategy comes along with what you're doing and constantly tweaking it and constantly editing it to fit your brand as it moves on. You can't just have a strategy and say, okay, the strategy's done. Like, we're not going to update it anymore. We're just going to go off it. You are costing yourself so many sales because you're a person, right? You change every day. Your business is going to be changing with you because people want to buy from that person that they envision. Like, okay, my client, my beauty bar client, we really try to push like lifestyle content on her stuff because she's a teacher. She's a teacher for clients, like for other lash artists and other businesses and whatever. And she always says, like, I need to build my personal brand because I want people to want to be like me. I want people to see my photos and to, want to book that treatment with me or want to, you want my brows? Okay, book the treatment. We'll make your brows look just like that. Or, oh, you want to be, a educator, you want to be a, pro lash artist or pro brow artist. Okay, you're going to see that I'm doing these things and the way I show up and the way I look and, whatever, you're going to want to do that as well. So it's really about building that personal brand for yourself too, like Summer Fridays. I don't really know her name, but she has an amazing personal brand. And just like Skims too, Kim's personal brand aligned with Skims. So it's just like, Emily from Pretty Little Liars. What's her name? Shay Mitchell.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
Base is amazing.
Base. And then her personal brand and her even her alcoholic beverages too. So it's just like, it's really that personal brand and your personal self. Why are people buying from Set Active? Lindsay Carter is a perfect example. So we could name off all these people who own these brands. People are buying it not just because of the brand, because of the personal brand behind it too. That's what people don't think.
It's almost like merch, like with your favorite like music artist or like podcast. Like I'm not like waking up being like, I need a new sweatshirt today. Like I need a new sweatshirt so bad. Like, no,
That's my post.
Wait, really? Oh my God. Did I just read your mind?
Oh my God.
Do you want to add me as a collaborator?
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's fine.
No,
That's fine. No, but I had said, like, no one needs your product. Like, at the end of the day, no one needs it. Like, I'm sorry. No one needs your product. It's about the excitement behind it. The
Unless it's going to save their life. Like, if they have allergies and you're an EpiPen.
Right. Like, I'm sure they're not buying a shirt because their last one has holes going out through the whole thing of it.
Right.
Like, it's not their last
like,
shirt.
I have
they're not ordering
45 hoodies in that closet. But if my favorite music artist put out a new merch drop right now, I'd probably get another one. Like, I don't need that, but I want it.
Cups. Me with cups. It's horrible. I have 3 Stanleys for no reason. Why do I need 3 Stanleys? Don't know. I have one of these. Then I bought another one, and the handle broke off of it, which was really tragic. Great example. I'm in LBI on my beach vacation like a few weeks ago. It broke. What I do? Same day delivery from Target to get me a brand new one. Same thing.
She's dedicated. And why?
I mean, that water cup. I do. It's like my emotional support, though. Like, if I don't have a big insulated tumbler of water next to me, it's bad. I also just saw a TikTok of a guy being like, the only clean cup in our house was my girlfriend's Stanley. So, like, I used it, and now I understand, like, why all these girls are carrying around
these... It spills all the time. That is the one.
That's why I got Simply Modern.
The Simply Modern ones are so good. Yeah, those ones are...
I need that. Oh, well.
Okay, but that, like, didn't count. That was out of the straw.
Soaked.
You put it, that was a straw. This one, it's literally, like, all over the place.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This thing would be spilling everywhere, and I'm so tired of it.
That's why I got a different one. I got Simple Modern, this one. It looks exactly like the Stanley, and what I figured out, the Stanley, don't quote me on this, because I don't really know, but I saw a TikTok about this. I'm like Facebook mom. I believe
Reliable source.
Reliable source, exactly. But I saw that Stanley has lead in it when like the paint.
Oh my
chips.
God, I saw
so like
that
when
too.
your paint, when the paint chips, apparently you're supposed to throw it out and get a new one. But it's like, what the hell? So I looked it up, and these are lead free. So
I saw a
Target,
pediatrician talking
$29.99.
about that and how like don't let your kids like have Stanley cups. That's I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just saw that like before we started recording. That's crazy.
Wow.
Maybe it is a reliable source.
I'll be on Amazon after this.
Getting a
Get the
simple
Simple Modern. They have
Yes, they're
such cute
so good.
colors. And they have a checkerboard one. They have the same color with beige checkerboard.
I like the tops of them
Selling point
better.
right there. It spills. Spilling.
Yeah.
Do you hate when
You're
your drinks
solving a
spill all the
problem.
freaking time? I don't even take this on a flight anywhere. And like I used to
Me
take
either.
my
I had to take a
drinks
Yeti.
everywhere. Yeah.
I had to take a Yeti because I couldn't even, it was spilling everywhere. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what?
Can't take your Stanley on a travel trip with you. You need
No.
the
Like, have you
Slim.
ever knocked one of those over like in a
Slim.
workout class? You feel like the biggest asshole. Like,
Yes.
first of all, it's so loud.
It
Have you ever
spills
knocked
everywhere.
it
It
over
spills
all over
everywhere.
your couch?
No.
Yes.
Have you ever
No,
knocked
I
it all over
haven't.
your couch? It's the worst.
40
And then my
ounces
boyfriend's
of
like,
ice cold
you
water.
shouldn't have put, literally, my boyfriend's like, you shouldn't have put it there. I'm like, okay, because I really calculated that it was going to spill everywhere. Really fun. Like, obviously, I'm not
so
thinking
funny.
about it spilling everywhere.
Yeah. It sucks.
Wait,
So-
Brie, I hate to do this to us, but we're like getting to the end. But can we like
I know.
officially invite you back for a second episode? Like,
I know. I think we
soon?
need a second
Of
parter because
course.
Yeah,
oh my
we'll
God.
do something like fun next time. Like we should have you on for one of our like pop culture update ones. I feel like you'd thrive
yeah.
in that with
I-
Yeah,
us.
you would pop off. Yes.
I would be honored to.
We're so
Yes.
similar. I love it.
Join you.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Well, we'll
similar. This
definitely
was
have
so
you
much
back for one of
fun.
those. Yeah, seriously, thank you. I like hate
Thank
to do this. I'm always
Thank
the asshole
you.
that's
No,
like,
don't
excuse me,
worry.
like we need to cut this off.
No,
so
don't
wait,
worry.
Our
tell-
producers are yelling at us. Wrap it up.
in my ear.
Wrap it
Yeah, my
up.
producer's telling me we have to close this down.
Yes.
Tell people where they can find you. I mean, I actually think we've
Yes.
promoted your Instagram on an episode before. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's socially
We
Brie with
have.
2 Ys. Like,
I think it was like episode 2 or episode 3. We're like, if you want to follow, like, she's amazing. You
yeah,
want to see what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
exactly.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we love you.
You
so
could just find
plug
me
yourself.
on all things nothing. I don't know. I just have Instagram. TikTok's personal. You can look at my website if you'd like. I just redid it. Socially
What's your
Brie
Instagram?
Media.
Cute.
Instagram is socially with 2 Ys, Brie.
We love
Socially
it.
with
Because she has
one
it
was
memorized.
taken.
I
Socially
know
one
whoever
was
that
taken,
is.
all
We're
right?
gonna find
No,
them.
I reached out to her. I said I would pay her for the name. I said I would pay her. And
One of
she
my
said
clients
no.
right now is trying to get a
Wow.
handle from somebody, and they've reached out a couple times being like, we will literally
Mm-hmm.
pay you for this handle, and they just like don't answer. Like the account's so inactive and there's like nothing
Yeah.
you can do. It's so sad.
Someone
'Cause-
has my
yeah,
TikTok
yours is
handle.
different too.
And they don't post anything. There's no photos. There's no contact. There's nothing. And I can't even, if I wanted to like sue them because I have a trademark, which I didn't know. If you have a trademark, like you could just, I thought, get your handle back. No, it's like $5,000 in lawyer fees, attorney to find out who this is because they don't post anything. So there's nothing for people. It's like investigator. Like an investigator would have to do it.
It's like a weird situation with the trademark. Like just because it's trademark doesn't mean like the handle is yours. Like
Yeah.
it's such a weird process, and I only know
It's so
about it because my
stupid.
client's going through it. Yeah, like it's
Even the
Absolutely
clam man, like
crazy.
my client, we have to be the clam man Falmouth because someone has the clam man, and we've reached out, and I think he said like thousands of dollars or something to get it back, or like, and then he stopped responding altogether, and you're like, really, like, you don't even post.
just
You
give
really
me the
need
damn
that?
handle, please.
It's so annoying.
I know. If I could have Socially Brie, oh, forget about it. It'd be over. I tried Socially Brie Media, and it just doesn't give anything at all.
Yeah,
So I was
I
just
kind of
you know
like
what?
yours
Your
with the
2
2 eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love your 2
I'm-
Ys.
I just think about it like Socially Brie.
Yeah, it's like a little
Yeah,
spicy.
socially.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Oh
We
my
love
gosh,
you.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
We love you so much.
Bye.